Afterwards. But I was in Denmark. I was in Denmark in the 80s because I had a girlfriend who I met in the States, and then I
Okay.
went there and yeah. So it was my first exposure to the country, and now 35 years later, I met someone, and we're now together, and we've been together for a few years, and so yeah, so I'm hoping to make regular visits.
Yeah, but hopefully. I mean, Denmark is really nice, and especially Copenhagen, and there's a lot of very nice places, and
Wait,
you're more
it
than
really.
you're more than welcome.
Thank you, Nicolaj. Yeah, no, I was I was back after all those years, and you can imagine I still remembered quite a lot, and I had photos that I took 35 years ago, and I was looking for some of the places, in the photos because those photos have, sort of ingrained were ingrained in my memory and my mind, and it was very difficult in some cases because things have developed over over the years, and things have changed, and but I had a really wonderful time, and I really fell in love with the Copenhagen on this last visit. Nobody broke up with me.
No, okay, nobody. Okay,
Yeah. In
but
fact, we had coffee with with the older girlfriend. um
okay,
yeah, so it was very civilized.
okay, great. That's nice. That's nice. So yeah,
Anyway, enough about that. I just wanted to introduce that, and but I did really end up loving your short film From Above. And
thank you.
yes, and so happy to invite you onto this podcast I've been doing for many years. Thank you for coming on.
And thank you for being there here. At
Yeah.
the moment, I'm in a hotel room in Poland. I'm shooting as an actor. I shoot a big movie here down here. It's a Danish movie, but we put all the shooting stuff down here because yeah, it's historical thing. So it goes like 100 years back, and they have some very nice locations here. So I'm sitting in a hotel room. That's that's where I am now.
Well, so where are you in Poland?
In a city called Wroclaw.
Oh,
It's
sure.
uh, it's about 3 hours drive from Warsaw.
Hmm.
It's a very nice city. I think it's probably the city with most amount of restaurants,
Oh,
and I mean I don't have a lot of time to go there, but I went to some of them, and it's very nice.
great. So how long have you been there?
Uh, 3 or 4 weeks, and we still have 10 days more left.
Okay.
So
Coincidentally, I was invited to see a screening last night in I'm upstate New York. I'm north of New York City right now,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I was invited to see a movie, a very kind of a comedy drama, very much an indie film, though, independent film, with Jesse Eisenberg and this guy, Kieran Culkin. And it was shot in Poland. It was takes place in Poland, actually. And
Oh,
yeah, they go to Poland because their family was from there. Their grandmother had recently died in the story, and that they want to go back and find the place she lived when she was a young woman. And it was a very moving film, but I was really taken. I just how beautiful everything was, and it's not what you
yeah.
think of as an American. I've been to Eastern Europe a bunch, but I have not been to Poland. I look forward to
No,
it.
it's exactly the same feeling I have. That this is my first time in Poland, and I had no idea what I will would meet. But
Right.
this is a country that is developing very quickly, and they are in a way in a very good
Sharp incline, a sharp.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
They're developing and taking big giant steps.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And well, I look forward to seeing this film that you're talking about. And I do, we love Scandinavian film in the at least film, serious film goers. I don't want to sound pretentious, but serious film lovers know Scandinavian film is really usually pretty good.
Yeah, they are in a way. They are.
I love Danish films, and
Yeah, I love it as well. And we are actually talking a lot about it sometimes because what is eh, I mean, we don't have big budgets to film compared to an English language film. So we have to sometimes figure things out. And I've been wondering if it is because we have a more flat structure, flat way of thinking, how we work. So if people are actually doing a lot of things and they're helping each other, so we can do things for less money. I I don't understand sometimes how good it looks compared to uh, how small amount of money it's made of. So
well, I think American films are there's only like this the big budget, which often means that the story might be in not first, like the actual story, the actual like characters um maybe don't come first, and then you have the rest of the films which are all struggling for every dollar, and in there you'll find more story driven, character driven types of films. But the problem is most people don't see those films because they don't have any marketing, right? And
exactly.
it's a whole different structure, which is goes along our very capitalistic society. It's sort of perfect, the kind of, entertainment. It's an industry, and we treat it like it's an industry. It's a sad thing mostly, because that's why I think they're so refreshing to when we do, see films from the other parts of the world, and you can really sort of relax into those films. It's so much more of a pleasure.
Mm, yeah. But I mean, there is, of course, also a lot of actually very inspiring movies from America that have been made of a low budget thing.
Sure.
I just saw and that's actually a very American movie, but I saw the movie called Warriors with Nick Nolte.
With
You
who?
know, Nick Nolte.
Oh, Nick
Uh,
Nolte.
yeah. Remember the movie
Yeah.
about the MMA fighting brothers? It's kind of like a drama with two sons and a father.
Yes, that's right. I think I did see it.
Yeah, and it's very American in a way, in a good way. But they did that in only 6 weeks, I read,
Yeah.
and and it was a very low budget, and it's a really cool movie actually. So
Well,
so
again, the movies do we make some wonderful movies. It's just hard for people to find them often, especially
yeah,
if there is no big star who is in it. And, you
yeah.
know, but the movie, for instance, last night, again, I would recommend it. I think you would enjoy it. It's called a big a bit is it called A Big Pain? A Real Pain.
The Real Pain.
A Real Pain.
I've heard about that. I
Yeah, you
think.
might have. I work with the Woodstock Film Festival up here, and we showed it, but I didn't get to see it. And then I was invited to a screening last night, and it was terrific.
Okay, great, great.
Directed and written by Jesse Eisenberg, who, he's a something of a well-known actor up here.
Yes,
Since it's The Squid and the Whale,
yeah.
a
So
lot of
so
films.
so
Um,
I will look into it.
Okay. So, with regards to the short film you made called From Above, right? Was this have you done much of creating your own projects in the past?
Before, no, I mean, 2 years ago, I was shortlisted in a short movie, and the movie was called the Steno. Yeah, it's called Stenofonen, but that was a really nice journey. It was a story about a thing that happened to my father when he was 12 years old,
Uh-huh.
and I made that story, and eventually we didn't get nominated. So a guy said to me that you have to go and stick to another story very immediately, because otherwise yeah, because get on and find another story. And then I was looking around in my neighborhood and in looking around for a story. And then I had this guy standing in front of the supermarket every day, and he
Oh,
was a homeless guy, and he is still there actually. And I've been passing him day after day after day, and I was thinking, what if I look at him from above and actually find out where what is his story, his background? I mean, nobody is standing there on purpose. There must be some kind of like backstory about what is
absolutely.
his destiny. And then
Right.
I found
Hmm.
out that he actually has a family and kids, and then I decided to write this story because I think it's very important that we sometimes are looking at each other from another perspective, and also on life in another perspective. If you look at things from above, you will see details and other things around, and you will actually sometimes grab the world and the life and the situation in another way.
Hmm.
And that's why I did this story. Yeah,
Do you think, okay, I mean, your character is homeless and, or as we now refer to people, houseless.
yeah, houseless. Yeah,
Uh, and he suffers from mental illness, I think it's safe to say.
yeah. He is like eh, when you do the short movies, you have to like find out.
Condense.
You have to, yeah, you have to condense, and you have to find out, is it important that we do a big background story, or is it important that I show in the beginning that he is a kind of a person that who is as a father taking all the clothes out and do a piece of art on the floor.
Hmm.
And you can see on the way that his wife is looking at him that he's a stranger in a way. So he is, yeah, he has a certain kind of like a strange energy in a way. So that was the only background thing I was interested in. And then you jump like 8 years and you find out that he's actually living and he's homeless. And another thing is that I found out that it's very easy actually to end on the street. You think that if you have like two garages, two cars, and you have kids and work and a big house and a wife and stuff like that, you think that I'm untouchable. I mean, they will never happen to me. But I have heard stories about people that if you lose your job, you need money, you get divorced, you some kind of like lose your friends, and you are only a few steps to maybe drink a little bit, and then you find a community that, yeah, that, I mean, you try to take your way, you go away from the regular life because
Right. The
you
shame
can't
and
exactly,
um,
you can't contain
self-hatred.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you are homeless. And that's interesting because your country and our country and in the whole world, we have more and more people that lives on the street, and sometimes you look at them like, well, they're not human being,
Right,
but they
right.
are human
But this
being.
is
And
our way of sort of mm, protecting ourselves, right? And to make them the others means that they're not like me. That would not happen to me, so therefore I don't have to deal with the all the different levels of what that might, implicate. Do you understand? So like, first of all, you don't want to believe that you'll be in such a situation. So you separate yourself from somebody who's homeless like that. And the other thing is there's also this whole other level, which is, how am I responsible to my fellow human being?
exactly,
Where's the compassion and what is my responsibility, which you can kind of suppress if you just say they're not those, that's not a human being.
exactly, yeah, yeah.
There's something wrong with them.
yeah, and in a way, like I was looking around for how could what occasion and what thing is he doing to reach out for a member of his family, and then I wanted to show a person that actually also have a sense of humor and a sense of like an artificial. He was he's a son of he's a sort of an artist in a way. I mean, if you put plastic in a container for 8 years and you use it to make a portrait and a picture of the daughter, uh, so you can see things from above. That
Uh-huh.
was that was a way to reach out to her and try to be a little more than just banal in a way. You understand? Because
Hmm.
I mean, it has to be in a twisted way that he is reaching out for her, and that's why he did more or less the same thing as he did in the beginning of the movie.
Well, and there is what the short film structure, calls for, that kind of device that you deployed for the film. That kind of, the shorthand that you describe at the beginning. You
Yes,
want to see his manic behavior. You get the look from the wife. These are things that you realize you only have so much time and only so much to set up. And we, as an audience, the reason why short films can work is because we have 100 years of cinema
yeah.
and hundreds of years of storytelling to draw from. We know the language now, and we accept certain things. So short films, the only problem with it is is how more people could see short films, and we haven't figured that out quite so well. But
No, it no.
but is this your way of building towards making I mean, the earlier film you described about your
It's
father
all,
and something he went
yeah.
through, was that was a short film as well?
It was, yeah, and
Okay.
right now I have just finished a treatment for a big future
A
film.
feature. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because I now first of all I'm an actor, but I've been acting for 30 years, and the thing is that you have to like you have to keep inspired yourself. So if I can along the way when I'm acting, if I can sometimes in periods where I have spare time, so thing, I can be creative and do stories.
Right.
I, I think that's an incredible way of living my life as an actor, and of course when I've been acting and doing television and movies for 30 years, I also know a lot of about how to be behind the camera in a way,
Of
and
course.
so now I use these two short films, and then I have done a big story about a 35 years old man that lives with his wife and two kids, and he is in a way mental sick,
Hmm.
but it is a movie about look at people, are they mad or are they a genius in a way? It's like he is doing things that are beyond. I mean, he is really a genius, but he is really having a hard time with his mental illness, and then he is in the end of the movie he realized that he is that kind of person, and he is that kind of person because of his father, and that's also then a portrait about how difficult it actually is to break out of the way that we just do the same thing as our parents did, and our
Hmm.
parents, I mean. So I'm working on that at the moment, and hopefully we're gonna shoot this next year. So yeah, hopefully.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Maybe we can bring it to the Woodstock Film Festival. And have you
No, I
been to
haven't.
New York?
Yeah, I've been to New York several times. Yeah,
I
It's
guess it's sort of on the crossroads to everywhere. But have you made your way north of New York? I mean, I'm from New York City, but I've been living north of the city for the last bunch of years now.
Yeah,
Have you?
believe it or not, I've been for many, many years ago in 1986. I was 87. I was an au pair for a
Oh,
family living in Boston, outside Boston, and
oh, interesting.
I spent many months and weeks there taking care of the family's three kids, and we went
Sure.
To Maine and to Nantucket and stuff like that. So I've been
Oh, yeah.
around that area.
That's
Yeah.
pretty. Yeah, very beautiful. Wow, that's right around the time I was in Denmark, so the first time.
Yeah, yeah. I love the States, and I still love it, even if
Yeah, no
you
need
got
to get any more. You don't need to get any more specific. I understand.
yeah, I still love it. I mean,
Let's check back next year though and see. You know,
yeah,
I was trying to remember. I had on a darn it. I don't want to waste time on this on our time together here, but I was looking for last year. I had on also another Danish filmmaker. I don't mean to group you in with that with everybody Danish because it's just not the way I'm thinking. But I was trying to find his name and I'll find it. Bothers me. He also had made the short film, and maybe you've seen it. I don't know. You probably don't see everything, obviously, but it was about this guy who goes to two people. I think it ends up that they go to the morgue and pretend to have a
oh yeah,
lost.
yeah,
Do
oh
you know?
yeah, yeah. I know that. That's wonderful. That's a wonderful one.
It was wonderful.
Yeah,
So, and I'm struggling out. Darn it! I wish I could have had. I should have thought of this beforehand. I could have to see if you. I'm certain it's a small community, right, of filmmakers, especially in Copenhagen, and I'm sure you know the guy that made the film. And it has
yeah,
a famous actor, at its core. I don't think he's Danish. I think he's Swedish. Do you know?
yeah. The one of them is Swedish, and the other one is Danish, and they're both
Okay.
very famous. I mean, I don't know about I don't know the Swedish guy. I think he's a famous Swedish actor, but I know the Danish guy.
It was very funny.
Yeah, very, and it's a very like hold back way of humor.
Very
I like
dry.
that. Very,
Yeah.
very dry, and I love that.
With yeah, restrained, you might say, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Boy, I just unfortunately it would take me too long to find it. But look, I feel an affinity now. We're gonna be going to Denmark in the summer, so
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to it. I want to bring my son with me in one of these visits because he hasn't been there.
No, it's wonderful. It is. It's for young people.
Yeah, it's a really
Uh,
great city now, Copenhagen for young folks, and
ex
all of my partners, her family's coming in for the holidays next month. Like her
oh,
parents, her brother, and his two kids, everybody's coming in. So we'll have
wow.
a lot of Danes here in the Hudson Valley.
Great, 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 great.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate it's called From Above. It was
Yes,
written, directed, and stars Nicolaj Kopernikus.
yes.
Pretty,
And that's
pretty.
actually let me tell you the reason why I played the character myself is
Well,
was
you should have. Yeah,
I
perfect.
was I was too embarrassed to ask a colleague to cut off his hair.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
It's
I
my
thought
favorite
that,
scene. Yeah.
well, I can do it myself, and that was a difficult scene to do because you only have one shot.
That's right. Otherwise, you have to kind of figure out how to fake it, and that's not any fun.
Yeah.
So
Now it is.
you really did grow your hair,
Yeah, I did,
let it get all
and then
natty.
and I was like, we have to make sure that we have shot everything before because you can't go back in a way. And then we put some hair in between my own hair, and then
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
The magic of cinema.
it was fun doing it. I've actually been dreaming of doing that for many many years. I've been writing a scene about it for 10 years ago, and I was like, well, now it's time. So
Well,
yeah,
this could be it. You should make one short for every fear or every not always fear, I guess, but sometimes, you fantasize about something you want to do, but maybe it's
Yeah, yeah,
too
sketchy.
intense an experience, and then you do it. Like maybe it's jumping out of an airplane for some, or I'm not
I'm not
sure.
Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise do that.
Yeah.
We let him jump out of the airplane.
Well, hopefully people, I'll talk to the publicist, if there's a way people can see it. I'd love to, for people to be able to see it. But we'll try to get a clip maybe and put it in at the beginning of this. That would be good.
Yeah. Oh, that would be nice. That's very
Visually, I mean, obviously my audience won't be able to appreciate the Danish language. Probably very few of them speak Danish, but
yeah, yeah, of course, but yeah, but they can visualize
yeah,
and get
yeah,
the impression. So
yeah.
that's perfect. And
Excellent.
so you have a podcast that have been existing for a long time.
Yeah, I started, well, it started sort of, it wasn't a podcast quite, but it's the same idea in
Yeah, yeah.
2011. What?
Okay, it's
Yeah.
2011 you started. Great.
Yes. And I've had on quite a lot of international filmmakers and actors over the years, as well as, but mostly American, I would say, of course, but with many exceptions. Many,
Yeah,
I've had a lot of, I mean, I had recently Wim Wenders on, and I'm looking to try to get that was pretty amazing.
yeah,
Um,
wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
that was
he's
like a
he's amazing.
two really just incredible that. But I've had on so many of my heroes on, I mean, or people that I've loved, where I grew up seeing their films, and then I have them on. So it's a gift. It's really, you know, really
Yeah,
wonderful experience to be able to do it. And Volker Schlondorf,
Walker Slondorf.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, the tin drum and
yeah.
the German. I named two German people, but I mean, um, I've had on a number of the German New Wave people. Yeah, but I had Agnes Varda on once, and I mean, really, quite Liv
Wow.
Ullmann,
Oh,
Liv
nice.
Ullmann,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, pretty amazing, and
Oh,
younger people too.
that's great. So you watch a lot of movies though?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you must see a lot of movies. Yeah.
and interestingly, you were talking about the your father earlier, and also how we repeat, or end up repeating often, or falling into a cycle like our parents, and their parents, and created. And I was reading, what was I? I'm reading now this book, which, because I'm going to have the author on, about the American Hollywood filmmaker George Cukor. You know George Cukor? He
What?
made a lot of famous films in the 30s and 40s and 50s and later.
Okay.
He's
No,
an old, long
I'm not.
time gone. um, with actors like Katharine Hepburn and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Greta Garbo and that type of thing. But he had there was one film he was which one, I'm trying to remember which one it was, but it kind of dealt with the same themes. It's just amazing how we look at their old time films, but in a way we're still telling the same stories. Which
Exactly. I mean, there is some people talk about that there's only seven stories in the world that
yeah,
we talked about, right? I mean, but I'm very, maybe it's because I'm 50 and I have three kids, and I mean, looking. I think it's so interesting the way that we repeat things, and the way that that how difficult it actually is
break
to
from it.
break out of it, and how stupid you are because you think you are doing something different,
Right,
but
you think you're rebelling, but you're only
you're
repeating the cycle.
exactly, and it's your kids that tells you that you are doing exact the same. So it's scary, and maybe it's like I don't know if we're like animals or stuff like that. I don't know, but it's difficult to change. So
Yeah. Hmm.
so and that's a theme I really think is
Interesting.
yeah, is interesting.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your future work, and perhaps where you'll explore those themes further. Um, Or you'll break out of it and you'll do something different.
Maybe,
Jump out of
maybe.
the airplane or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um, no, but thank you very much. And it was a
Yeah.
pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, and pleasure to meet you too, and thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your life. Yeah, of course your life, but also you,
Well, I'm going to try.
yeah,
The
yeah.
odds aren't looking as good as they were a couple,
No,
like a
I
week
mean
or so.
enjoy the rest of your day, and I can
Okay.
imagine that it's early in the morning where you are.
That's not too early. It's
10
10
o'clock.
o'clock. 10
Yeah, yeah,
o'clock. Yeah. Um, and yeah, but it is the beginning of the day. Now I head to my work and start my day.
perfect.
Yeah, it's all good.
Have a nice day, though.
Thank you. You have a nice evening.
Thank you, and
All
take
right.
care. Bye.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.